Hello, my name is Esther Debussy, and this is my COMP351 Assignment 4 video summary. The integration of large language models into healthcare represents one of the most transformative yet ethically complex applications of artificial intelligence. These neural networks have shown capabilities across clinical decision support, medical education, patient communication, and healthcare administration. But their increasing usage raises some profound ethical questions that demand rigorous analysis. This presentation examines the ethical landscape of large language models in healthcare, analyzing data usage justification, model architectures, and frameworks for responsible implementation. Article 1 is a systematic review of ethical considerations of large language models in healthcare and medicine by Fareed and colleagues, published in Frontiers in Ethical Digital Health in 2025. The authors analyzed peer-reviewed studies from 2017 to 2025 using PRISMA 2020 guidelines. The review identifies fairness and bias as the most frequently discussed concerns at 25.9% of studies, followed by safety and reliability, accountability, privacy, and transparency. Notably, GPT models predominate at 51.8%, emphasizing the concentration on commercially available systems. This raises questions about research bias and the overlooking of open source alternatives. The finding that equity and cultural considerations appear less frequently also suggests a bias towards Western usage in ethical discourse. The first major ethical challenge is bias and fairness. Training data reflects existing healthcare disparities. Large language models trained on mostly Western medical literature could provide wrong or culturally unsuitable responses for non-Western populations. Bias enters through human cognitive bias, engineering decisions, data bias, and unwanted bias in the final product. The predominance of artificial intelligence development in well-researched organizations, combined with Western-focused training data, threatens to increase healthcare disparities. As Fareed et al. Note, adversarial debiasing only partially alleviates these issues. Ethical deployment needs proactive measures to ensure LLM-enhanced healthcare serves marginalized communities rather than putting them at an even greater disadvantage. The second major ethical challenge centers on safety, reliability, and hallucinations. Komasawa and Yokihara's 2025 article documents critical concerns about generative AI in medical education. LLMs carry the risk of misinformation or hallucinations, even, generating plausible but factually incorrect content. They may fabricate academic references that appear credible but do not actually exist, and suggest implausible differential diagnosis without any clinical justification. Data privacy risks arise when entering identifiable patient data into third-party systems. The third major ethical challenge involves privacy and data governance. FRIS's 2025 analysis documents significant regulatory developments. In May 2024, Meta announced plans to train AI on European users' public posts without explicit opt-in consent. In December 2024, the European Data Protection Board clarified that AI training needs proper legal basis under GDPR, requiring legitimate interests to be real, legal, clearly defined, and concrete. The fourth major ethical challenge concerns accountability and transparency. GPT models dominate healthcare LLM research at 51.8% of studies, raising concerns about vendor lock-in, lack of a lack of transparency in the proprietary systems, and dependence on commercial bodies for critical healthcare infrastructure. As Fareed et al. Note, opacity of training data and safety mechanisms complicates auditing and trust calibration. Synthesizing the literature responsible literature, responsible LLM deployment needs several principles. First, the human in loop oversight. So physicians must maintain responsibility for verifying the AI outputs. Second, the transparency and disclosure. There needs to be clear communication about the usage of language models in healthcare decisions. Third, bias monitoring and mitigation. There needs to be regular auditing for demographic bias using data augmentation. And fourth, accountability frameworks. There needs to be clear responsibility assignments with designated personnel for oversight. In conclusion, the evidence supports cautious conditional support for LLM integration in healthcare that is grounded in robust governance, transparency, and human-centered models. Thank you for watching.